It's important to not only see the future, but to see it with clarity. Without clarity, you probably won't see all the risks ahead of you in your homeowners association. So let me challenge you for a few minutes about how clearly you can see the future and set you up with appropriate expectations. This chart shows the perspective of the inexperienced eye. Near-term things are clear. Mid-range projects get a little fuzzy, a little dim, and long-range projects are distant or vague. So when I go to the eye doctor, my optometrist, it's Dr. Allen in my case, I walk in there, some light chit-chat, sits me down, and throws up the eye chart. And it's easy at first, commonly obvious, easy to see. I have a high confidence that I'm just going to sit there and get these right. And then I stop chit-chatting because he starts making this a little more challenging. It requires looking ahead. It requires some experience. Okay, what am I looking for? The sharp lines maybe are perhaps easier to see than the curved lines. I'm pretty sure with what I'm seeing, and then I really have to focus. Now I'm sitting up straight in my chair. You have to really care. And there's this whole idea of getting comfortable that you're making a good estimate, some things you don't know clearly. And that's the picture that I want to paint here, that you may be able to, with your eyesight, not be able to see everything out ahead. But there's things like corrective lenses, and there's people with different experience or different corrective lenses in you that can see these things. And so there's different things going on. I grant you that everyone has your own vision. We need corrective lenses, some of us more than others, but go with me on this. We do this because we want to see where we're walking, what we're reading, and not to hit other cars on the road when we're driving. So follow along with me on this idea. It's kind of like an airplane flying across the country. Those mountains are approaching very quickly. And let me use the phrase with unnerving pace. And because we're traveling fast, those mid-range projects are soon going to become the near-term projects. You're going to see them sharpen up. And those long-range projects that used to be, I don't care, I don't know, not my problem, they are coming fast. And they're soon going to become mid-range projects where even you can get a better sense of them. And the point is, it's too late to prepare when they become near-term projects. At that point in time, the fence is going to be falling down. The entry system is going to be breaking down periodically. Those are what happens when the midterm projects get close, and it is too late to prepare when the big projects are right in front of you. And that's when the roof is leaking. It's just plain too late. You have a crisis on your hands. The mountains are all there. They're spaced out. Even if you can't see them, the ones that are midterm or far term, if you don't have the corrective lenses or background of experience to see them, someone else does. And all those mountain range of expenses, they're approaching with unnerving pace. They're there, and someone can see them. Let me remind you of this idea of canaries in a coal mine. Canaries are sensitive to carbon monoxide. They lose their joyful spirit when they start smelling carbon or breathing carbon monoxide. And that used to tell the coal miners deep in a coal mine that carbon monoxide was getting released from where they were pulling out the coal. So that allowed them to know or see the future. They better get out of the mine because something's wrong and they're in jeopardy. And that's what's going on here. Remember that you are not alone as a board member. The board members, the association, all of its members get successfully to the destination when the team works together. The flight crew works together with air traffic control. That's the manager and the reserve study provider. And the passengers back in the main body of the aircraft are all safe, and they're just along for the ride. I hope you now understand that we all see things differently with our different skill sets. Hopefully you're comfortable that we've set things up in our industry with professionals standing by, like air traffic control, to help boards successfully navigate forward. If you have follow-up questions, ask them in the comments below or contact us directly through our website. There you can get a reserve study proposal for your association or find other helpful resources in our articles and other recorded webinar material. Let's plan for your best future.